Welcome to the second session of Write It Right, sponsored by Winnipeg Language Academy and Global English Academy. Usually I mix it, so it's English Global Academy. Last week we talked about writing in general and what impedes writing. This week we'll be looking at different things. So today, inshallah, we'll be reviewing what we have studied last time, and we will be looking at tone and mood, tone and mood and writing as a process. Do you guys have any questions before we start? Any questions?
No, I don't have.
All right. So if we don't have any question, then we will get started. Okay. Let's see here. Is the last session recorded? Yes, the last session is recorded, and there is a link for that. If you want it, we can share it with you after class. All right. Again, so let's look at these four pieces and see what is the purpose of the text. If you are interested in sharing your ideas with like-minded people who can comment on your writing, you may want to try blogging. Blogging is short for web logging. Logging on the website where you can upload your writing and ask other bloggers to post their comments. So if you look back here on the different types of writing or the purpose of writing, is the writer trying to persuade you? Is he telling you that you should do or you should not do something? Or is the writer informing you about something, telling you about specific thing, like specific steps? Or is he writing for entertainment, like a story? Is he trying to explain something? Is he trying to describe something here in this one? That's absolutely correct. So the writer here is informing you, is giving you information about a specific thing, which is weblogging, right? Now, let's go to text number 2, which starts with tobacco. Take a minute and read it and tell me, before we go to number 2 here, who are the audience? Who can be the audience for this text? Where can you read this piece here? Do you read it in the transportation? Yes, go ahead.
Can you please go to the previous slide to read something?
Yeah, here.
Yes.
So yeah, the audience here is who will read this, or who are we writing for? The purposes are to persuade, inform, entertain, explain, or describe, and the tone is usually formal or informal. All right. So this text here, where can we usually read it? Writers and bloggers, readers and followers, right? Okay. And here, Dr. Manali said smokers. I guess you're talking about the second text. Okay, students, that's right. So usually those people can be internet servers, people who serve the internet, right? Or internet users or website users. So they are telling them about the steps that they can do in order to do blogging or web blogging. Okay, now let's move to text number 2, which is tobacco companies should be forced to pay lucrative settlements to anyone who has become addicted or adversely affected. If you read the first 2 lines, what is the purpose here? Can you guess? Any guessing from the language? Advice, that's right. Right. But here, is it advice if I tell the company you have to pay money, you should pay money? If we look back here on these purposes, is it to persuade or inform or entertain, explain or describe?
Persuade, what does it mean?
To persuade means to convince, to make someone do something, to tell reasons why should someone do something. Like, for example, if I wanted to persuade you to stop eating fast food, I'll tell you that fast food is dangerous for your life, for your health. It will make you lazy and it is expensive. Now I'm giving you reasons why you should stop that. That's absolutely right. Hajar. So here, the writer is trying to persuade the readers because we have the key here, which is the word should be forced. And now they are forced. The company should be paying this money by law. Again, who are the readers? Who can read this? Where can you read it? Any guessing about who can read it or where we can find it? Text like that. If you guys are not comfortable typing, you can raise your hand and talk. So the second one is to persuade. That's correct. The first one is to inform. I'm informing you, or the writer is informing you about specific steps of doing something, or is telling you about like a definition for web blogging. Okay. While in the second one, because the language here is should be forced, and also there are reasons why the company should pay that. That's persuade. This can be buyers, right? The audience can be buyers. The audience can be smokers. The audience can be also public, Hajar, right? Because you can read this in the newspaper, or you can read this in like a web blog. So it can be the public as well. Right? It's readers for news. That's right. Newspaper readers. Let's go to this part here and look at this one. First, you get the bread, then you get the jelly and the peanut butter, then you get a butter knife and spread the jelly and peanut butter on separate pieces of bread. Lastly, put the two slices of bread together and boom, you got a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. What is the purpose here? You're doing great, guys. Let's do that together. So what's the purpose of this piece? Entertain. Okay. So why do you think it's entertaining? Explain. That's right. Explain, because the writer here is explaining the steps of making a sandwich, right? Because they're giving you the steps. Step 1, you will get the bread. Step 2, you will put the jelly. Step 3, and so on and so forth. This is a bit different from a recipe. A recipe is usually when we talk about the ingredients for a dish. Like if I want maybe to make a pizza, so I tell you, you get a dough, you get, different types of toppings, and then put them together. In this case, this will be a recipe. Here, it's explain, and this is not a descriptive part, because if you look at descriptive, you will be describing the sandwich itself. So you'll say the sandwich is huge. It's yellow on top. The bread is crusty. So you're giving description of the sandwich itself. But here, you don't find any description of the jelly, even the color of the jelly, or how soft is the peanut butter. Is it soft or hard, or you don't find these descriptive words. Here it's an explain again. Explain, that's right. And it's an explaining of a process. The process here is how to make a sandwich. Okay. Now let's look at the second sentence here. In what way does the sentence, the celebration will commence at 7 p.m. differ from the sentence, the party will start at 7? Now we're looking at the tone. In this part, we looked at the purpose and the audience. The audience can be TV viewers, right? But here, I want to know what's the difference. Okay, Hajar, which one is formal? And why do you think it's formal? The first one is formal.
The first one, yes, it's formal, and second is informal, because the way they are talking about.
So
formal way.
Okay.
Yes.
Which one is more formal for you, the word commence or the word start?
No, it's commence, and also the way hey fam and like this expressions, it's informal.
Yeah, I'm sorry, because we just confused them. We're looking at this example here. The first sentence is the celebration will commence at 7 p.m. The second sentence, the party will start at 7. So yeah, go ahead.
Celebration and party. I think celebration is formal, party informal.
That's perfect.
The word commence also.
Is formal,
Uh,
right? Is it
this is
formal?
formal.
Mm-hmm.
Start and formal.
Okay, one last piece. Can you see it?
The
This is
specific time.
The PM.
perfect.
Yes.
The PM shows you that this is more formal than 7, because you will be looking at the party will start at 7. Is it 7 in the morning or 7 at night? Oh, parties don't start at 7 in the morning. Parties start
Yeah.
at 7 p.m. Then you will understand that this is 7 p.m. But here it's specific and direct. It says 7 p.m. That's correct. Thank you so much. Now let's move to the third sentence here. Hey fam, we're hosting a brunch thing at our place this Sunday morning. Say 10:30ish. Hope you can make it. XO. Is it formal or informal?
Informal.
Why do you think it's informal?
Hey, in the beginning.
That's right.
10:30.
That's right.
This is number 2.
XO.
XO, which is like hugs, hugs and kisses. And fam is an abbreviation of the word family, right? So
Yes.
all of these are, features of
Thing.
informal speaking. Thing, right?
A brunch thing.
A brunch thing. That's correct. Right.
Hope you can make it.
And hope you can make it. If you want to change this into a formal way, you would say, I hope you can attend this brunch.
Yes.
Right? That's right. So the first sentence is formal. Yes, we're done with that. Perfect. And this is like talking to a friend. You will notice that speaking is conversational tone, which is an informal tone is usually what you can see in texts that are informal. Okay? Now, moving on to a very important question, and this was asked last time. What's the difference between tone and mood? I'd like you to focus here because this is a bit similar or a bit tricky. So when we talk about the tone, it is the writer's attitude of selecting words and the style. So when I talk about tone, I mean the writer's way of communication or of writing, okay? While when I talk about the word mood, it's the feeling that the reader gets from the writing. So I have a piece, I am the writer, I have a formal attitude to the text, so I'm using formal words, then the mood in this case will be formal. Maybe the mood will change. If I'm writing maybe an invitation to a party for, let's say, the prince of the city. So the language will be formal, but the mood will be joyful because we're happy to celebrate this. Okay? So if you look at the mood, this is something that happens to the reader, while the tone is something that is related to the selection of words and the attitude of writing. Okay? Why we're focusing on these two pieces? Because there are different types of tones. In this course, we'll focus on formal and informal. You can call them also formal and informal style, okay? And there are like hundreds and hundreds of tones that the writers can use. I will go through 10 of them today, okay? But I just want you to focus on formal and informal, okay? The mood changes. So in an essay, maybe I started with writing something that is funny, okay? So in this case, funny usually is an informal way, like in the attitude or the tone, I should use informal way, right? Then when we move down, we can talk about, let's say, an accident that happened, okay? Then the mood changes here from funny mood into sad mood, okay? Now, for example, in a novel here, at the death of a character, the mood could be depressed or sad, but at the discovery of a long-lost friend, the mood would be upbeat and joyful, all right? Now, let's go through the 10 types of tones. The first type, which is very well known here, is formal tone. And formal tone, this tone focuses on being thorough and direct, yet respectful. It uses full words rather than contractions. So We don't have any contractions, usually, in the formal way. And we emphasize facts and grammatical correctness. In this sentence, you could see that will not has been written as separate words, complete words. We didn't contract them together. So the committee will not vote on the matter. The informal tone, which is usually a conversational and expressive, and it's similar to how you speak to a friend. Nah, I got tons of time to do my chores. Hey, what's up? So these are more conversational. That's why we say that this tone is informal, okay? The mood will change based on the meaning of the sentence, or based on the selection of the words, and based on the reader as well. Sometimes we have this in Arabic. Sometimes you say something in a specific way, or you write something in a specific way. Let's say you're serious, but when somebody reads it, the person like tears, they cry, or they start laughing. The mood here depends on the reader. The tone depends on the writer, okay? Now, the third type of tone here, which is an optimistic tone. And in this case, in this tone, when writing in an optimistic tone, you're conveying a sense of hope and a positive outlook of the future. Here you find words that are positive, like David said with a reassuring smile. So here it's more optimistic than pessimistic or worried or sad. This is the tone. So if I read it, I might get the mood of being optimistic. Number 4 here, we have a worried tone, and this can make the reader apprehensive and afraid. My hand tentatively reached for the knob, shaking as I held my breath. Okay? A friendly tone is non-threatening. It's not conversational. It's non-threatening. We don't threaten people when you write in a friendly way. Sometimes a boss or a manager can fire somebody in a friendly tone. So they tell them, we're sorry, we were so happy having you in the company, but because we are, we have shortage of money or funds, we have to lay off some people, or we have to, terminate the contracts of some people. It's a friendly tone here, but it's passing a message of termination or laying somebody off. Now, here, the friendly tone is usually, you can find it as a mix of formal and informal tones, depending on what you're writing. Generally, it's light-hearted and kind. Ether gave a cheerful thumb up from behind the curtain. Now, do you guys have any questions so far? Because we don't want to go quickly through the slides and then there are some questions. If you have any question, you can type it or you can raise your hand and speak. So what's the difference between informal and friendly? Okay, this is very, very good question. If you have this, hey, what's up, that you can add here, or like in this example here, it says, nah. Can you add nah here? No, this is different from a conversational tone. A conversational tone is an informal tone. Imagine you're talking to your friend, okay? And you're just cracking jokes, laughing, and abbreviating words, using Arabic words like okay, قشطة, خلينا نتقابل بكرة, نفض, الكلام ده. This conversation or this tone is very different from what you will be writing to your co-worker, right? If you talk to a co-worker or a colleague in a school, maybe. So this is how it's different. Slang is usually used with a conversational tone, which is an informal tone. Now, any other questions? Okay. Now, a curious tone is in the writing. Usually, it is used in writing novels and the stories. Like here, you say the mystery gift didn't reveal the sender's name. So this gives the reader, a feeling of being intrigued to learn more. Intrigued me here, like excited to know more. Okay. I'm the writer. I wrote few sentences to make you continue reading the text. This tone, my tone, is curious tone. And this will create a curious mood for you. Okay, Mr. Rida, we will allow them to enter because this will be, nobody is waiting. I allowed everybody to enter. But we don't want to do this because we don't want to interrupt the class every time. And it's almost like 8:30. Nobody is in the waiting room. Everybody is in here. Now, let's go to number 7, assertive. An assertive tone shows the confidence and authority. So you're using an authoritative word or authoritative style. It can be insistent or straightforward. The tone can be used also to help you persuade an audience. So here we're talking about the tone. Don't mix it with the purpose of the text, okay? So you can say, for example, she wasn't fazed while walking up the podium. This is an assertive way. And here fazed means she was not surprised. She was walking in confidence, all right? So these are the 7 different types of tones. We still have 3. Encouraging, and in this encouraging tone, the writer is encouraging the readers. I remember mom's advice to take a deep breath and jump in. It gives the reader the reassurance to overcome their fears and take action. In the surprise tone, usually if you read it, you get surprised, and they are usually using words that you're capturing how something is unexpected. The tone could elicit different types of astonishment, such as joy or shock. Here, he opened the door and his eyes widened upon seeing me. So this is a kind of surprise. And you could see that the writer here used the word widened, okay, to show that this was a kind of sudden action because the reader here, he wanted the reader to be surprised. In the 10th type, okay, and which our last type today, it will be the cooperative tone. And usually you see this if you have a job, like you work in a company, this is the language they use to post announcement, to tell you that we are going to get over this together. During COVID, there were like many posters on many, leaflets from the company saying that we are in this together. Let's get over the pandemic. Let's wash our hands and stuff like that. So this shows that you are cooperating here. Your word choice often evoking, okay, positivity and collaboration. We use usually the pronoun we, okay. We work together to invite mutual participation toward a shared goal. Now, I'd love to hear your thoughts about it. If you read this sentence as a reader, when I read it, I'll feel included in the decision. I'd say that, yeah, the company did not decide to do this without asking us. But here, they are including you. They are cooperative in the tone. I don't want you to worry more about the last 8 tones. I would like you to focus mainly on formal and informal tone. But for the sake of this exercise only, you would like to read this quickly and see which tone did the writer use here. We've come together this afternoon to mourn the death of 16 miners, our friends and neighbors, who were trapped by fire yesterday, deep below the earth. They lived bravely and they died too soon, leaving behind grieving wives and bewildered children. We bid them a final farewell. Now, what tone is used here? Perfect. Sorrowful. Perfect. Yeah. They are sad. These words are so sad. That's absolutely correct. Now let's go to number 2. I'll give you 1 minute. You can type or you can speak up. Read the text and then share your answers.
Encouraging.
Perfect. That's encouraging. There are some words here that shows you that this is encouraging. Can you find one example? That's correct, Rasha. That's correct, Hiba. One example that shows that this is an encouraging text.
Each brick or nail toward the house you can live in. Each mistake towards knowing how to do nothing right.
Okay, that's a good example. If you look at the first sentence here, is there anything here? Often you feel, okay, go ahead.
Often you feel you've done nothing when you have actually done a lot.
This is very encouraging, right?
Encouraging, yeah.
Yeah, people feel, oh, I didn't do anything. I just failed the test. No, you've done a lot. You learned the lesson, right? That's perfect. Now let's go to exercise number 3 here. And I'd like you guys to participate. Try to, type or unmute yourself and talk. Number 3, what is the tone here? All right.
Angry.
Russia.
Angry.
That's right.
Angry.
That's right, guys. That's correct. How do you know this is angry tone? Is there anything here that tells you
with those idiots in the city council?
Perfect. So the word idiots here is showing that this person is furious. He's very angry about them, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's correct. Now, what about number 4? What's the tone in this text?
Regretful.
All right. Perfect. And why do you say that?
I didn't mean to hurt Keith's feelings.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could take them back.
Perfect. These are very regretful words, right? Or sentences that show that the writer is very sad because they did something wrong or they hurt somebody's feeling, right? Thank you. You've done a great job. Now, just to wrap up, again, there is 2 different things. The tone is the writer's word selection and style, while the mood is what we feel as readers when we read, okay? So there are like thousands and thousands of mood, okay? And they differ from text to text, and they can change throughout the same text. So if you're writing, for example, if you're reading a story, your mood will change with, incidents. In the beginning, maybe it's joyful. After that, it will be sad. Then you'll be, encouraging or regretful, depending on the writer's selection of words. Okay. Now, let's go to this part of the session today, and it's writing as a process. Writing as a process, there is always this wrong concept of I can sit down, get a piece of paper, write, and then pass it over. And this is not usually right, because you need to think of what you're going to write, brainstorm ideas, make an outline, and write the piece or the text you wanted to produce at the end. Here, there are 2 different processes. If you're talking about, sometimes you use the process of writing an essay just for the sake of the exam, if you're taking IELTS or TOEFL or something. Sometimes you need to write an assignment in the university. Then you will need to add researching. Then you go and read books and add to your writing. For this course, we'll be focusing on short essays. Now, these are the steps, okay? I'd like you to look at the first part here, which is step number 1, the topic selection or understanding the title. If you have, let's say, the example of IELTS, you have an IELTS exam, and then you have 2 tasks maybe in the test, and then you're asked to select one of them and write about it. Usually what happens is people get excited and they just pick a topic that they think they know more about it, and they start writing about it. And then halfway through, all their ideas are done. Now, my advice here is don't write about any topic. Don't choose any topic to write about unless you know more information, or unless you know a lot about it, like in information-wise. Plus, number 2, you need to know as many vocabulary as you can in order to use it in your writing. I remember one of the exams, the topic was about celebrities' life. So they're talking about how celebrities live different life from, you know, the public. And this was an exciting topic to many students. And they started writing about it. They said, oh, they do this, they rent, they buy cars, they do this, they do that. And then halfway through the text, they run out of, you know, information or ideas. So they couldn't, then they had to go to the other topic and they wasted their time. So the tip here, understand the topic, select the topic that you know more about, okay? And this is two things, which is information-wise and vocabulary-wise. Then choose a topic that you're passionate about. And this is tricky here. Sometimes a topic might be boring, okay? الموضوع ممكن يبقى ممل بالنسبة لك, but you know more about it and you can write better about it. You can write, you know, even like pages and pages about it, okay? In this case, this will be the best bet. If you know more about it and if you know more information about it, then you, and more vocabulary, then you can pick this topic, okay? Now, let's go to the second step here, which is brainstorming. And brainstorming is usually the process. Is there any question here? Yeah, we will share the link, inshallah, after the class for the session. Now, let's go to the second step, which is brainstorming. And brainstorming is used to generate as many ideas, okay, in a specific time as quickly as possible. So now you need to focus on these two words. You're focusing on creating as many ideas in the shortest time possible. So don't stop when you write like 3 or 4 ideas and then you say, oh, that's enough. Continue writing and writing and writing until your mind is unable to think of more ideas. You can't think of more ideas, okay? This is number 1. Number 2, try to think as quickly as possible, because if you have an assignment, usually the brainstorming time, if you have 45 minutes, you have 2-3 minutes to think of ideas, okay? And a common mistake here is to stop after writing down only a few ideas. This is not brainstorming. Brainstorming, as the word storm suggests, it's like bursted, or it's a strong energy or a strong power leading to a flood of ideas. Now, we have 3 types of brainstorming and we will be discussing them. The first type here is clustering. And clustering also is known as mind mapping. So in clustering, you usually write the topic in a circle in the middle and you start drawing circles around it and arrows, and you write anything that comes to your mind that is related to this topic. So let's say that this is just a picture for explanation. So you can have, for example, fast food here. Then you write the first circle, it's expensive, it's fast, it causes disease, okay? And then you can write, you know, it affects your mental health. Then you're typing and writing as many ideas as you can, okay? The advantage of this technique is that the ideas will be organized on a piece of paper. You will see your ideas here. You can relate them. You can say, for example, if you have a topic to compare and contrast between life in the city and life in the country, you will see that this is the section of the city. You have city here and you have everything that is related to the city. And on the other side, you have life in the, just one second, sorry. Okay, and on the other side, you have life in the country, and you'll find everything laid out for you. And this will be easier when you're writing. You'll see, oh, I'm looking at the city now. I'll write everything about the city in this paragraph. In the second paragraph, I'll be writing about everything about, the countryside. I'll include all of these pieces. Now, this is very important. After you do your clustering or mind mapping, okay, you need to test the quality of the ideas. So in the beginning, we said I'm writing about fast food, and then expensive, you know, unhealthy, fast, and let's say that it saves time, which is basically fast. It helps or affects your mental health. Now I have like 5 or 6 ideas, 6 of these ideas, 6 ideas. Now, which one I will be using in my writing? In this case, you need to test the quality of the idea, and it's based on 2 things: how much you know about it, and how much or how many vocabulary words or how many words you know that you can use in this part. Sometimes the idea, again, is very interesting, very exciting, but you can't write about it. You only know few sentences, okay? Now, this is the first type, which is clustering again, and it has another name, which is mind mapping. Another type, which is listing. And in brainstorming, in listing, you list your ideas like that. So the topic here is why I want to become a nurse. And these are the reasons why this person wanted to become a nurse, because he or she likes science, they like problem solving, there are many jobs available. You put them in a list. And the advantage of this technique actually is to enable ideas to be generated more quickly, because you list them under one another. And usually you find, or you feel like they are kind of related. So here, like science is close to like problem solving, okay? Now, many jobs available is very close to that. The salary is good as well, okay? It's not related, like maybe this is a contrast, but if you're thinking, you'll find that you're moving from this idea to this idea smoothly, okay? And also, the advantage of this technique, as we mentioned here, is that it enables ideas to be generated in a more quickly way than with clustering, okay? Because clustering, you draw a circle, you write fast food, let's say, and then you go to it's dangerous, and then sometimes you're stuck with dangerous. So you can write more about dangerous. You know, it causes disease, it causes death, okay? And then when you look at them back, you have to trace what you have written. But here you find that these ideas or these pieces are laid down. Yeah, like map, that's right. So if you're talking about clustering, it's like map in Arabic, absolutely. Okay, now let's move to the third type of brainstorming, and it is free writing. And free writing is actually, you just write the topic on the top, and you start writing everything that comes to your mind about this topic. You don't worry about the vocabulary, you don't worry about the grammar, you just write as fast as you can. Put everything that comes to your mind on paper. Then you will be looking at what is good and what is bad, and how can you like which piece you will use, or which piece you will avoid. Yeah, that's correct. Now, free writing is in brainstorming activity is usually when you write everything. The advantage here is that it might enable you to generate ideas when the other methods fail. So if you tried, for example, clustering, and you can't get as many ideas as you wanted, and then you went to listing, ideas are not coming out, then free writing will be the good technique for you. However, free writing has a disadvantage. It's hard to transfer these ideas to your first draft, or the outline that you will be creating. For these two, for clustering and for listing, it's easy, because you could see this is a piece, I'll be writing a paragraph about it. Or this is the piece, I'll be adding these two together, and then I'll write a paragraph about them. But here you will need to go through what you've written one more time. You will need to circle, underline, or highlight the important pieces. You will also need to cross out some ideas that you didn't like, okay? So it will take more time. But for sure, it generates more ideas if you couldn't generate through these two other types, okay? Do we have any questions so far? If you have any question, please type it in the chat box. Here, free writing, these are the steps as we mentioned. You just write the topic in the top, and then you write without paying attention to grammar or vocabulary. Write as much or as many details as you can, okay? After you have run out of ideas, now you will need to reread the passage and circle and highlight the ideas which seem useful, okay? And then you will group them together and then use them in your outline, which is more work than the other two types. Yeah, so if you're talking about, now, if I'm doing mind mapping and then I lose the line of thought, and then I wanted to go back, what I usually do, or what I usually suggest, is that you start from the beginning. So if you've written like 5 or 6 ideas in the mind map, go back to the middle, which is the main topic, and see, oh, now let's say I wrote about why I want to be a nurse. here, good salary, here, available jobs, here, problem solving. What else? So when you go back and start over, this will help you generate more ideas. All right. Now I have a good activity for you because we're just getting closer to the end of the class. We have 1 hour class today, inshallah. So this activity is, I would like you to get a pen and paper and start working on that. You can choose any type, okay, of brainstorming, and I'd like you to brainstorm this topic. Here it says, some people prefer to travel by plane, while others prefer to travel by train. What do you prefer and why? So you can pick any of these. You can do clustering or mind mapping. You can do listing. You can do free writing. Okay? Choose any brainstorming idea, or sorry, any brainstorming technique and generate as many ideas as you can. After generating, we will be sharing these ideas together. Okay? Now I'll pause the recording for 2 minutes. Okay? So take the time, brainstorm the ideas, and let's share once you're ready. Let's make it 3 minutes. All right, guys, we're done now. The time is over, and I'd like to see, I have some ideas here, and I'll be reading them. This is Hiba, right? Just give me a second here. Okay, so Amira raised her hand. Okay, Amira, just give me a second. Amira, let me read this quickly here. Okay, so Hiba said you travel by train. Travel by train is cheap, safe, less tension, and but. So but here means you're talking about disadvantages, I guess. Traveling by plane, this is for Jihan. It's fast, comfortable, safe, easy procedures. That's correct. Hiba, need more time. I don't know if you need more time to do brainstorming or you need more time, which is if you're talking about traveling by plane. Sorry, by train. Plane, expensive, comfortable, long distances, less time. That's correct. Here, Hajar. Also, Jihan, easy booking, tickets, varieties, right? Hajar, train, cheap, waste of time, boring, tired, less, destination, traffic, that's right. Russia here has plane quickly, but high prices, dangerous, that's absolutely correct. Now, let's take a quick look at people who raised their hands, and we have Naima, right? You can unmute yourself and go ahead.
No, it's Naima.
Naima. I'm so sorry.
Hello.
You know, I need glasses. I understand. I know that. Okay.
No, okay.
All right.
Today I wrote traveling by train is my favorite because I see lots of good scenery, get fresh air. Talk with other passengers, especially if I was with some friends or something like this. Mm-hmm. It's cheap. I can book it anytime that I want. But there will be some disadvantages, like sometimes it's being not comfortable or maybe wasting the time because it's taking lots of distance. It's not like traveling by plane, of course, but I like it.
That's perfect. I guess this is free writing, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. That's a perfect example. Thank you so much, Nama.
Thanks.
All right, Manny.
Also depended on free writing.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I found it much easier for me.
That's absolutely good. Okay.
Yeah, I prefer train to plane because of I feel I don't like traveling by plane because I feel dizzy and I don't like to be at a high level a long way away the earth. Of course, it has advantages and disadvantages, but for me, its disadvantages is or its demerits are more than its merits. I like watching many sightseeings during or while traveling by train. I feel more I feel safe more than whether I travel in a plane. Actually, feeling that you are in the middle of the sky, on the sky and the earth, it's a horrible idea for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's a personal point. It's a personal
That's
feeling.
absolutely fine. If you can defend that, if you can say why do you feel this way, and you can defend your argument in writing, that's absolutely correct. And this is something. Thank you so much, Amani. Thank you so much, Amani. This is something very important. You don't need to be correct. Okay, you don't need to see, oh, what do people agree on? So people agree on, oh, plain is better, so I have to write plain is. You don't need to do that. As long as you can defend, if you have a strong argument, that's absolutely correct. That's absolutely fine. Thank you so much.
I find it difficult to arrange my ideas.
Yeah, because
I don't
free
know
writing,
how to...
Yeah, free writing is harder because now you will need to circle and underline and highlight the important points and then put them together and put them in the outline. That's why we said free writing has a disadvantage. Usually it's easier to generate ideas, but you need to put these ideas together in, groups and see which ideas you're going to choose and
for
write
us.
about.
For us, it's the most common way to use brainstorming. It's the most common way, and this is the way we used to use in the college and in our assignments and things like that.
All right, let's try some new ways this time.
Yeah.
Okay, and let's see how they work. And actually, when you try mind mapping or clustering and listing, you will like them as well. Okay,
I'm thrilled.
What's that?
I'm thrilled about trying different ways or different kinds of brainstorming.
Just let's give it a try. It's hard to try new things, I understand, but sometimes we just have this fear of trying. If you look at your life and my life, I've been afraid of doing specific things for a while, and then when I tried them, I found they are absolutely perfect. They are absolutely okay. Just let's give it a try. Thank you so much, Amani. Now, Neda. Before Neda, I'm sorry, Neda. I just need to go through what. Is it the same person? So Neda, okay, this is your writing. I'll just quickly read Rasha Osman. For plane, it is expensive, not safe. Okay, so it's short time and comfortable. And I have used clustering way. That's perfect. Thank you so much, Rasha. Now let's go back to Neda. Neda, can you please share your ideas?
Yes. In my personal opinion, I prefer traveling by train, as it's a good chance to meet different layers of society. More enjoyable. I have a phobia from high places.
Perfect.
It's comfortable more than plane for me, because
that's okay.
Because I have a phobia from high places. It makes me dizzy and feel very bad. Nowadays, trains became more modern and comfortable, and it makes nowadays meet different layers of society and make a friendship with them. It's comfortable to talk with other people that are completely different about you.
Let me ask you a question, Neda. What type of brainstorming did you use? Did you use clustering, mind mapping, or free writing?
Free writing.
Free writing. Okay, perfect.
I finished.
That's absolutely perfect. Thank you so much for sharing, Neda. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for sharing your ideas. And I just tried to do some kind of brainstorming using the 3 different techniques here, and I'll just show you what I've written, and they are very close, like very similar ideas to what you've come up with. So for clustering here, I wrote for clustering. Does somebody want to talk or say something?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure, go ahead.
Which brainstorming technique it's easy, right?
The easiest one is free writing, but it will take the easiest one for generating ideas, but it will take time to highlight and put the ideas together. Okay? If you want something that is organized, then you just pick and put your ideas together, then listing is the best way. So you can write like science here. So you think of things that you like about the job, like. Okay? Then you can write about other things that also encourages you to do the job on the other side. Okay? So now you're thinking in, you know, in groups. Okay? This also, the clustering way is also easy to see the ideas, but it will take, the problem is here you have to trace what you've written. So here, what's this idea? Do I have enough information about it or not? So if I have enough information, I'll tick it. Then I'll go here. Do I have enough information? I will tick it. What happens is typically people start with clustering. Okay, if they find it's hard, then they move to brainstorming. Then if they don't have enough ideas, then they go to free writing. I suggest that everyone uses the 3 techniques, and then you will find that there is a technique that you mastered. Don't stick with free writing because you're used to do that, okay? Or you're used to doing this. Just try to try other techniques, and then at a specific point of time, you will feel, oh, I mastered the 3 of them. And also there is a secret here. Each type of topic, okay, has a better way of brainstorming. So for opinion, you might find that listing is better, because here you write why you like to do that, and here you write why you don't like to do that. Okay, for compare and contrast, you write similarities here, differences here. Okay, and we will go through this when we come to how to write an essay and types of essay. All right, does this make sense, Mohammed?
Yes.
All right, thank you so much. Now let's take a quick look. This is clustering or mind mapping I created, and here plain, it's fast, it's comfortable, expensive, and safe. For me, I found that the train is less comfortable. Okay, you don't need to worry about grammar here too, because you're just jotting ideas to, you know, as many ideas as you can in the shortest period possible. Now it's usually slow. It's cheaper, and it is you enjoy the scenery on the train, and also it is dangerous. If you're comparing a train, how many train accidents to how many plane accidents, so trains are more dangerous. This is my point. Other people might say no, planes are more dangerous, and because if you have a plane accident, then the possibilities that you be alive is very small. While if you have a train accident, there is a possibility that somebody can still be alive. Now it depends on your perspective and how you can defend your idea. In the listing, I put it this way: plain, it's fast, expensive, comfortable, and safe. While on the train, I put it like usually slower, it's cheaper, less comfortable, and dangerous. I put it this way. So now I will lean to, let's say that I prefer planes than trains. So in my question, the original question, it says, what do you prefer? So I prefer planes because of these reasons. In the second paragraph, you might say, I don't like trains because they are slower and they are dangerous. Okay, you will pick and choose based on the topic you're writing. For the free writing, this is what I've written. Okay, so trains are slower than planes. Here I meant while planes. Okay, you could see that there are mistakes in vocabulary, mistakes in grammar. Don't worry about that. Okay, are more comfortable than trains. The run-on sentences here, they are more expensive than trains. We enjoy scenery. If on train, planes, this is planes. I mean planes here are more safer than trains. Family enjoy plane trips. Young people enjoy train. You can sleep on train. Plane is hard to sleep on. This is just generating ideas as fast as you can. Then the second step is to circle or highlight the pieces. So trains are slower than plane here. Planes are more comfortable. This is the second piece. Okay, so planes are more expensive. Scenery on the train is better. Okay, and planes are more like safer or safer, because there is nothing called more safer, it's safer, but because we don't worry about vocabulary or grammar. And then you can't sleep on train. This is something that I highlighted. Plane is hard to sleep on. Now after I've done the free writing and I circled the ideas, I look at, oh, this is good idea. Oh, this is not a good idea. I'll write about this. I'll not write about this. You pick and choose, and you can number them based on the importance or based on how much you know about each of them, all right? Then you will be using them in the second stage, which is outline, and we will be looking at outline next time. I just meant that this class is short because I know people are fasting now and it's close to Maghrib time in Egypt. It's so early here for me, and also I have to go somewhere. Now, if you have any question, please type it, or you can unmute yourself and talk. Thank you, Nama. Thank you, Rasha. So if you have any question, you can unmute yourself and talk, or you can type your question.
Okay, I want to ask, what
ahead.
are the schedules? Yani, how many times in the week we will take
So
the course?
because it's Ramadan and people are fasting, and I understand I don't want to bombard you with a lot of stuff. So we'll be keeping it to one time a week, okay? And inshallah, hopefully after Ramadan, we have, you can have longer classes, because writing needs time for you guys to practice and write and, participate. So let's keep it as 1 hour a week in Ramadan, and after Ramadan, inshallah, we will have more time. For now, we're looking at Saturdays, okay? And we will be looking, I'd like you guys to participate in the group, in the Telegram group, and tell me what you think, okay? Because I changed the day from Friday to Saturday because I found that many people have classes running on that day, or they have other courses. So I don't want to, interrupt or, bombard you, because you are fasting and you have classes. So it's a lot. Just let's talk together on Telegram and see what fits us all. All right?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Mahmoud, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Actually, I want to practice writing skill, but I don't know what should I do. I don't know the right techniques to use and to follow to improve this skill. What should I do? How can I correct how can I know whether I write in a good way or not? What should I do?
If you don't mind, just stick with us in this course, and we will look at techniques on how to fix sentence structure, how to identify mistakes. We will do this in this course, inshallah, but we can't push everything at the same time. We need to give this background first. I understand it's a lot of, different, maybe new information for some of you. Others know this already. So we're just building, bit by bit. We don't want to push everything at the same time. But throughout the course, inshallah, we'll be looking at techniques of how to correct our writing, techniques, how to identify our mistakes, and how can we improve. The key here is to practice. Every day, you have to write every day. Every single day, write something. And there is a book, I'll share it with you. It's called Don't Sweat the Small Stuff. This book is written by a PhD. He's a doctor, and he's written very short essays in 2 pages or 1 page. And the writing style is so beautiful. So I'd like you to read this and try to imitate the writing. I'll share it on the Telegram. I'll share the link on Telegram so you guys have access to that. And it's really a very useful book. So read as much as you can. In my courses in the university here, I ask students to have a book every week. So you have a book every week. You read something, and then you try to summarize what you've read. We have also free writing sessions, which is basically you just sit down and we pick a topic and you start writing about it. Okay, then we chat together and we discuss and we read and we share we will try to do this, inshallah, in the coming weeks, but because time is just limited. Okay,
that will be great.
Thank you so much. Yeah, for the time, we will talk about the time on Telegram. Please stay tuned. The name of the book is Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, and I will share the link with you guys in the Telegram group. And takeaways, I guess you guys shared your takeaways today. So I don't want to keep you waiting more. And thank you so much for coming to the class today. And if you missed the class or one of your friends missed the class, I'll share the link of this video, inshallah, soon on the Telegram group and on Facebook. And again, I'd like to thank everybody who attended. And I'd like to thank Winnipeg Language Academy and English Global Academy for allowing this a chance to teach and to meet with you guys. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your iftar. I know it's very close to iftar now in Egypt. So enjoy it and see you inshallah next week.
Inshallah. Thank you.
All right.